Ken Hudson has been hunting all his life, but it hasn't been easy. For decades, he's been fighting tooth and nail for recognition of past wrongs and inherent rights for Métis in Treaty 8 territory.
Large chunks of our own land, including Wood Buffalo Park, we couldn't hunt. And we can't hunt in Alberta, Saskatchewan, places that other Aboriginal people that were here, we're standing next to them, have those rights.
With Treaty 8, First Nations in the area have been afforded hunting and trapping rights in Canada's largest national park. But Métis, who were there at the time of treaty signing in 1899, were not included. In 2016, Hudson was the president of the Fort Smith Métis Council and was part of the N.W.T. Métis Nation, who demanded the federal government provide $120 million in compensation and a formal apology for this mistreatment. But the issues with the park have been tied into the ongoing work around Métis land claim and self-government.
It just drags on. We're after reconciliation for what they did to us in the park as well. So that's at the negotiating table. Now this issue here of the government cheating us out of a treaty or an agreement at treaty time is a separate issue. But they're tied to the table, which they shouldn't be.
President of N.W.T. Métis Nation, Gary Bailey, has been at the negotiating table since 1997.
No formulas for the land transfer, formulas for compensation. So it's pretty well like starting all over again and taking 10 to 20 years because, you know, anything you put forward, you're going to have to prove your case. So which means there's got to be studies and so on done for each thing to figure out what your losses really are.
He also says Canada's insistence in lumping in all Métis issues for redress has been stalling any progress.
Can't be holding us at ransom, you know, saying if you want it this bad, give this and this and this and this, give it up.
Meanwhile, back at Hudson's house, insult to injury.
And this bill now is $5,326.86. I won't be paying that one, that's for sure.
Outstanding bills from the territorial government to use his traditional territory.
For us to get charged for building cabins, for harvesting, and for showing our grandkids.
Both Bailey and Hudson say they've been told by colonial government that the territory has the right to levy taxes on Crown lands, as long as it doesn't affect Indigenous ways of life. A way of life that Métis will continue to practice while being charged to do so. Charlotte Mort-Jacobs, APTN National News, Fort Smith.